Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. So this is called the reality of getting shredded. Now truly I've never been in a state where I've been shredded. Like, I'm probably the leanest I've been, pretty much. I'll try and dig out a couple of photos of like the best shapes I've been in, the best shape I've been in a couple of times. But as you can see on these check-in pictures at 13 weeks out, it is a little bit of a different look. So I'm trying to share exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I'll be honest, this video isn't going to contain any sort of training footage, meal prep, things like that. I feel everyone kind of does that. I feel I will do that a little bit at some point, but it's just, at the minute, not really me. I'm very much just in the moment with stuff, document what I can, trying to give a little bit of value just in the way I'm sort of doing my videos and talking about things, and hopefully this is giving folks a little bit of inspiration, something to listen to. So a lot of this at the moment is just routine. I wouldn't say it's boring. I don't want to say that, because it is a privilege to do what I'm doing at the moment, to do prep, to put myself through a show, of course. This week, getting some coverage in the Northern Echo, the Chronicle as well, which adds a little bit of pressure. So it is kind of the same things every day to make sure I make a good show of it, literally, in 13 weeks' time. So most people like the idea of getting in shape, but this is the reality of it. So my Instagram is very much showing like more the day-to-day, so Ashton Online Coaching, if you're not following me there. You can do, I'm giving a little bit more on that stage, on the stories day-to-day in the moment, going out for steps, things like that on a morning. But I'll be honest, this week, it's kind of hit me the last couple of days. Like, hunger was very bad yesterday. Hunger is now, it's like 4:30 and it's pretty bad. I've just had my last meal for the day, which probably was a stupid thing to do, but again, that is kind of what's happened. That is the reality, unfortunately. And it's just something that you need to do. So a lot of what I'm documenting as well is usually, it's around the time people fall off in terms of preps, in terms of, you know, diet adherence, people start cheating on diets, things like that. And I'll be honest, the hunger the last couple of days has been particularly bad. But I just have to stick with it. You know, I think in terms of what I'm trying to do, I mean, really this prep, if you like, has been something I've been thinking about since probably mid-October was when the idea first came to us. And then I left the coach I was with at the time. I just kind of needed my own space a little bit, and I just got into this thing of like, oh, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this myself. And then my pal Kyle has been a great help, gradually joined in more and more with it, and he's been brilliant, pretty much just like coaching me through this, and now we're kind of locked in to get it done. So it's prep is very much just doing what needs to be done. I'm not relying on motivation and stuff really. It's just trying to look after myself, you know, making sure I get enough sleep on the night, making sure like everything's done, you know, even like the night before, so the next day's meals, even getting my drinks ready for the next day. So I'm into a workout drink, the carb powder and my electrolytes, just so I can get my supplements first thing, all that kind of stuff. That is what is important. Like, it's, I think I mentioned it last time, it's just doing these little jobs along the way, but I am tired today. I don't know why. When I've had, see if I can get the sleep up on here, I have like, let's go sleep score of 83, which is good. And I've had, reckons I was in bed 9.5 hours and I got over 8 hours of sleep, but I don't feel tired as in yawn, but I just feel drained. And a part of us is like, should I even feel like this 13 weeks out? Do I even deserve to feel like this? But I think the condition I'm in at the moment, it's a condition that when it gets to 4 weeks out, maybe hopefully 5 weeks out, it'll just be a case of maintaining it. So technically, maybe you could say I'm like 8 weeks out in a way in terms of like condition. I feel like there's a lot still to do. You know, food is still not super high. It's probably like 2,400 calories-ish a day. Carbs are still kind of moderate. Cardio, I feel I could do a little bit more steps. I feel I could do a little bit more. Steps still 10,000 a day. Cardio still 40 minutes, 5 days a week. Train still 5 times a week as well. So yeah, there's still some variables to play about with, and things are moving in the right direction, as you can see obviously on the check-in photos, things like that I've posted. And for me, it's very much like a mental thing, and yes, it's still early, but you know, you are just waiting for show day. But at the same time, I'm trying to enjoy what I'm doing. That's the advice I've been giving off a lot of top people people I respect, people I look up to, and I am trying to do that, because the way I've thought about it is, I don't want to say it's a phase. It's definitely not. Like, the lessons I'm learning in this, I will carry on with, but I just think in terms of what I'm doing, depending how I get on, if I qualify for the Universe, if I even get an invite for the British at the end of the year, something like that, this is just kind of something that I'm doing for maybe this year. And depending how I get on, you know, say I was to place and then get the Universe or get another competition at the end of the year and feedback was good and it was like, look, just put a bit of tissue on, you're going to do even better, something like that. Whatever the feedback is, if I get some like good feedback of judges and that they think I maybe have, I wouldn't say a future in it as such, but just a bit more potential, which I think I probably do have, then maybe it's something I would extend a little bit longer if there was some value in it, if it was going to be good for me, good for, you know, my family, things like that, good for the business. Maybe it's something I would do, because a lot of what I'm doing with this, it is to improve my business as well. It is to attract more clients. It is to better myself on socials, on Instagram, on all that kind of stuff as well. It's something that I want to do, but again, it is kind of something that I know will benefit me, benefit business down the line, and hopefully benefit if you're out there listening to this. So before I wrap up, I will just say a saying that I've kind of adapted in my own brain is like, prep is a game of moments. So like this morning, pretty flat into training. I was actually a little bit flat today on Friday the 13th. Oops. Yeah, a little bit flat today. Just mood isn't great. I'm not depressed or anything like that. I think it's just one of those things, and really I have been prepping a lot longer than probably what the documentation on YouTube suggests. You know, I started documenting this about 17 weeks out now, 13 weeks out, but it's been going on way longer than that. You know, I was doing like half hours cardio 5 days a week, even as far back as like October-ish, November as well. I didn't really have any time off at Christmas. A couple of days, I had a few days in January. You know, so it is maybe something to look at in terms of like structure and maybe a little bit of downtime and things like that as well. But I'm trying to just push through as much as I can at the moment. Realise there's still a long way to go. I mean, strength is still pretty much on the up. That's in a good place. But yeah, it's just, I get a little bit brain foggy as well. So even today, just doing work and stuff, it was just a little bit, you know, a little bit tough to get through. And of course, as I was saying in my last video, I've actually been way better this week on it. But you don't want to be relying on your Red Bulls and your modafinils and your caffeine and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Something I've been really trying to do as well is learn to like coffee, so like espresso. I still hate it. I still can't get away with it, but I know it's better than just having the rubbish, having the cans of Monster and the Red Bull sugar-frees and so on. So that is a little bit of progress, and I have cut back a little bit on my caffeine this week. I'm fortunate as well in my pre-workout. I have half a scoop of tank mode and you need muscle, so that's only 100 milligram. So even if I have a caffeine drink when I'm training, I'm still under that 200 milligram, which gives me, you know, I think you're kind of allowed technically 400 to 600 milligram a day. But again, obviously with me at the moment, a couple of fat burners, that kind of thing. So again, you don't want to be stressing your system out too much with these, you know, the fat burners and the central nervous system, and, you know, just kind of frying yourself. In that sense, you've got to be very mindful, and I think you've got to be sensible as well. And something I was taught of Kieran O'Neill, who is going to be on my podcast in a few weeks, is, you know, sometimes you have to, it's not giving in, it's just surrendering. You know, you just have to say, yep, today's not my day, and accept it and be okay with that, rather than thinking, oh, I've got to be this, I've got to be that, I've got to do this, you know. And I think that's just lessons I'm learning as I go along the kind of journey with it. But yeah, in terms of fatigue and brain fog and stuff, it is a little bit present, which I don't want to say I'm worried about at 13 weeks out. It's just, I know it will kind of get worse. But in with that, I do believe there'll be good days. I think the Lord will smile on me a little bit, and I think there'll be some good days and good moments in with there. But I think that's pretty much it for this one. Like I say, I do really want to do a little bit of filming in the gym content, but I've just been so in the moment with stuff. I'm showing bits on my Instagram, like I say, but I'm just kind of locked, I hate that saying, I'm just like locked in with this at the moment, and just getting through it, doing things as much as I can. And yeah, I am counting down the days a little bit. I'm not gonna say I'm glad when it's over, because I'm enjoying how my body's changing. It changes pretty much every day. The abs are getting a little bit sharper. You know, the posing's improved thanks to Emma. At Pose with Emma 1, I believe she's called on Instagram. Emma Quinn, fantastic coach. Really helped me. Obviously, Kyle has been incredibly supportive. Kyle Bacon, if you give him a follow on Instagram, fantastic guy, great bodybuilder as well, really good friend. And yeah, the guys in the gym at Ultraflex, very supportive, you know, guys like Josh and, you know, Mark, Anth, Davey, you know, all the guys at Ultraflex, Joe Richardson, incredible people, incredible support, and I don't think I'd be as far along without their support. And even so, people I've never really talked to as well are sort of coming up to me as well and saying, oh, you're looking well, you know, you're not far away and all this. And I'm starting to believe it, you know. And I'm still someone that suffers a little bit with the body dysmorphia, the body image issues, you know. I know I'm in good shape at the moment compared to where I've been, but I'm like looking at the next thing, I'm thinking, well, this isn't stage ready. But at the same time, you're having that fight with yourself, because you know that at 13 weeks out, you shouldn't be stage ready, because it's going to be a long 13 weeks. You know, high carb days aside, one isn't going to save you. You know, stuff like that if you're at a super low body fat. And in terms of body fat, my smartwatch, the Samsung, reckons I am, let's get this up in real time, guys. So health. So when I last did a scan on here, health, and then I go to body composition. Yeah, so actually weight 83.8 has been the lowest. Skeletal muscle 41.4. Seems a bit low. But anyway, the main thing is fat mass 9 kilos, and then body fat is 11.8%. And the BMI is nearly in the green. So go me. But yeah, and then I used some more expensive skills at one of the gyms I train at, and that reckoned about 11%. So I feel if those machines are giving me like between 9 and 11, where at times before I really got into this, I know those sort of scales were telling me I was like 30s and 40s and things like that. So to be getting those numbers is a good mental win as well. Anyway, I appreciate we are losing a little bit of light. It is getting a little bit dark here in Darlington at the moment. But yeah, that is the video. That is that. Please keep an eye out for other videos coming, some shorts, some more training footage. So always, please let me know what you want to see in the comments. Give me a little bit of feedback. And support is greatly appreciated. Big love. God bless you. See you in the next one.